obviously the start of the game was not what we wanted, so you have to ask me those questions. I'll say it. 5 3-and-outs is not what we expected. Obviously not acceptable. It's certainly not what we expected, and going through camp and all those things. Once that occurred, probably the only high point of the game for us was that the 2-minute drive, 95-yard drive, got ourselves back in it a little bit, continued to stay down by 3 scores, and at that point we never, we were always playing from behind. Did not get into our routine, our plan. You guys all know that, but that's just the facts of how it went. So disappointing in what we did with that. Had one shot down there, 1st and 10 on the 14. Had a chance to, score, make it a 2-score game. If we do that, then I think there's a chance to kind of get back in somewhat of a rhythm. That didn't occur. We stayed down 3 scores, so then you're really in a 2-minute mode the whole time. So I say all that, wasn't good, can't score 7 points, can't do all those things, so no secret about that. So I'm giving you that, but I'm also saying it's one game, and we got to move on. And for me, it's Thursday. I'm kind of there. We got to do this now with you guys, and I appreciate that. But for us, we've moved on. It's not what we expected. It's not how we practiced. It's not how our guys have played. And by no means do we have no concern that that's going to continue. But certainly, I appreciate that that's what we did. And it was disappointing, but we got to move on. I'll take your questions.
After watching the tape, what do you think Kenny needs to clean up the most?
I think we all got to clean things up, right? We all got to be better. There's some things that Kenny would like to have back, just like everybody else. So I'm not, there's plays, that's every game though. That's football. That's certainly NFL football. One play goes here or there, and it's a different game, and you're not down. You can't go 5 series with 3-and-outs and get ourselves down 20-0 and have any kind of a normal routine or rhythm. Everything that we talked about doing, you can't do. And if we'd have done those things and been down 3 scores, it looked like we weren't trying to catch up. You got to play to win. So Kenny can improve, but we all can.
Matt, the 4th and 14 that you referenced a minute ago, the chance to get back in it.
First and 10 on the 14.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
4th and 4 from that area. Did that play start to unfold the way you want it, and is it correctable that?
Honestly, all 4 of those plays, if you look at them, again, it's how it works out, right? We had GP one-on-one out there. He made an unbelievable catch, but he was just out of bounds. The next play we had we went to Ant in the flat. We just, those plays all were basically what we expected. We just didn't get the results that we wanted. So obviously we coach to improve those little details. The players work to improve those details, and we have to have different results. But I'm just, referencing that at that point, if we'd have got that done after the turnover, you come out after halftime, they went out and scored. So it's 27-7. Have the big play to Tay. He goes down. We kind of stall at that point. Defense gets the turnover. First, we drive it down. 1st and 10 on the 14. We got to score a touchdown there. We've put a lot of time into that. We do that, then it's a 2-score game, and I think we have a chance to get back to some of the things we wanted to do. When you're down 3 scores, it just doesn't allow that. Obviously, we get the ball back in the 4th quarter. So, yeah, I wish we'd have made all 4 of those plays.
Matt, what's the expectation for Calvin now that Deontay's sent to miss some time?
Obviously, not just Calvin. All our wideouts are going to, their roles are going to increase. That's going to be part of the deal. Calvin, his first game, we made some plays, did some things, so all guys have to step up. Obviously, Deontay's a big part of our offense, so it's not just going to be one guy.
Matt, it seemed like Kenny had been having such a good offseason. Were you surprised that it was a poor performance in the first one, and what kind of gives you the reasoning that it'll get better quickly?
I was surprised at the performance for everybody. Again, I'm not going to single out Kenny. Obviously, Kenny's come out and talked to you guys, and he's taking ownership, but everybody has. We didn't expect that. All you guys have to do is see what's on tape, and I said it last week, only one counts for that one, so I'm not running from that. We didn't perform well in our first game, and it's very disappointing. But everything we've done through the spring, through the summer, I don't have any doubts or concerns it's going to be better. How much better, when, I'm not making any kind of big, bold predictions, but that we didn't play like we've played or practiced. I don't have the answer why. We're certainly working on it and evaluating like you always do, win or lose. But that just, we're surprised with the whole deal. But you can't run from it. We got to be better, and we will be.
Matt, to that point, what's been the emphasis this week to make that improvement?
Obviously, we did the same. Since the bye, we kind of had the same approach. We came in, Matt did our deal as a unit, talked about what was there. Again, I don't talk about it out here. In that room, we talk about it. What was good, what was bad, what played, how this should have worked. And everybody has great accountability and ownership for it. Nobody, we all just got to be better. So, obviously, we're going to tweak things here and there that we might see. But the bottom line is we just, a play here or there, and it's a different game. Again, for that game got away so fast, and it's completely because we went the way we did at the start. But if that's not the case, we didn't get to run the plays we wanted to run, do the things we wanted to do by our own fault, and we own that, and we're looking forward to playing better and getting to see that work and the things that the guys have done. giving that the chance to work and see how that looks.
Does one player get Deontay snaps on the outside, or do you kind of rotate that?
Rotate it. It'll be by design, by committee,
Allen,
by
Calvin.
committee. Allen, Calvin, those guys, sure. Miles, Gunner.
More two tight end, part of that too, maybe.
Yeah, I mean that's a game plan thing, situation, how we play that. But as far as Tay's reps, I mean, we're gonna give those, kind of share them.
Upon looking at the tape, how much of what you saw that went wrong was San Francisco specific? In other words, how much did you analyze, hey, we're going up against the #1 defense perhaps in the National Football League? How much comes
Some of it, there was a couple plays, early, a couple runs that we didn't quite get the way we wanted, and they're a really good team. I mean, and I'm giving them all the credit. There were some things and some opportunities to make some plays that we felt like we could have made even as good as they are, right? They did a great job. They've got great players, and they won the game, so they deserve all the credit. But I don't think we looked at it like we were surprised or shocked at very much. We just didn't get the execution or the plays or whatever. It just didn't work. So it's all on all of us to find out why and get back to playing the way we were playing and have played and worked, through this whole process. So credit to them. They won the game. They deserve all the credit. I'm not minimizing that, but we just have to be better, and we believe we will.
Matt, as you look ahead to this next...
Go ahead. I got you.
When your quarterback is struggling the way Kenny was, what things do you like to do as a coordinator to maybe help him settle in?
Yeah, we do those things like everybody does. Obviously, we got a list of plays that he likes that we try to go to and get going. And for whatever reason, again, not just him. I mean, there's a multitude of things that happen. I mean, Kenny's a quarterback, and he gets all, that happens when you don't play well. The quarterback gets it, and he admittedly could have maybe done this or that, but he made the throw a little bit better. But we obviously went to those plays, and credit to him. We get that it doesn't matter. But the 95-yard 2-minute drive with no timeouts was a good drive. I mean, that got us. All of a sudden, we cut it to 2 scores, and there was a little bit of like, okay. And some of those, were those plays that he likes, and you kind of go those and go back to those as he feels good with them. We just didn't continue to do that. And again, I referenced the first drive coming out. We had a big play to Tay, and then we kind of, had an opportunity we didn't make. Then we got the ball back and didn't make it. So we've got those, and everybody does that. But we certainly did that. In some cases it worked. In some cases it didn't.
As you look ahead to this next challenge, just what is the challenge when you've got a team that likes to play tight coverage on the outside, but then they've also got that pass rush that's going to get to you instantly?
I mean, this is a really, really good defense, right? They went out and held Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals to 3 points. So it's not like we're, it's going to be that's a great credit to them. They've gone out and acquired players. They've got great players, a new defensive coordinator, and their first week was certainly exactly, I'm sure, what they hoped it would be through camp. So we've got a tremendous challenge, and we've got to answer that and go out and play much better football at a much higher level than we did.
Building off of that, when Mike Tomlin spoke with us on Tuesday, he talked at length about how good the corners were against those Cincinnati wide receivers.
Right.
Can you kind of expand on what specifically they did well?
You just look at the production. I think Joe had 82 yards passing or something like. Obviously you guys know how good those wide Higgins and Chase and those guys. So the fact that they weren't able to connect on those balls that they do pretty much through the course of the game, over their history, about everybody they play against, shows how good their corners were, and they challenged them, and they were really good. So our guys, we've got very good wideouts, and we feel very good about our quarterback. But obviously talking about guys who are elite in the game, and they were able to stop them. So we've got a tremendous challenge to go do that.
Matt, I know Pat went down to Vanderbilt in the summer, and Kittle and those guys. Have you been able to see any difference of what he's learned anything down there?
I wouldn't know where I think Pat's improvement. I think he's playing like a guy who's in his 3rd year. I don't know where, I don't want to minimize or maximize that trip. I know he's very engaged. He's very positive, and obviously he had the touchdown. We tried to get him some balls, and didn't get him as many as we all would like. In some cases, he got took a big hit, was out a minute, came back in for that touchdown. So he's done a great job, and I'm excited about where he's at.
2 more. How would you assess the play of the offensive line?
Offensive line, I think, based on what the situation, did a great job. I think statistically, probably, I think ended up, they have 3 sacks in that last drive when, we're down 3 scores. Again, we're playing to win, and we're not going to just, wave a flag on them. But that was, you drop back. I think we dropped back about 50 times or something ridiculous like that. That's unfair to them. They did it. They did a great job. The protection was good for the most part, and obviously we can't put them in that position. So not enough opportunities. When we ran the ball, we could have been a little better. But we didn't do it enough to even say that. So I thought they played well. They protected very well, and we just got to give them a better, a chance to be more balanced. And that's certainly what we went in to do. It didn't occur because of the situation, and we'll improve upon that as we move forward.
Matt, you were talking about the 2-minute drill. Dating back to last year, you guys have had a lot of success in those situations. Mm-hmm. Is that just a byproduct of the defense that you're seeing, or are there things in those situations you could take and used in other instances?
We probably do use them in other instances. I just think that, we obviously work on it a lot, as everybody does. I just thought that showed a lot of character for Kenny in the offense. It's 1st and 10 on the 5 with no timeouts, 95 yards. Again, if you start talking about analytics, the odds of scoring in that situation, I don't know what they are, but I'm sure somebody else will find that out. They're not, So I think, again, what we did wasn't good enough, and I'm not trying to confuse that, but I do want to credit Kenny and the whole group to saying, hey, we're down 20-0 with one, whatever it was, no timeouts, and we found a way to go get a touchdown and get it back to where at least it was a 2-score game, and then we weren't able to keep it there. But I think that's something for them. I want to compliment them on that as we talk about all the other things that weren't quite as good.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, guys.